back to my channel. This is me, Kinja, and I hope you guys are doing well. And this video is going to be about the easiest book one can read if you are someone who wants to get yourself into reading. So these books are from my collection, and if you are interested in reading these books, you can opt for it. And I'm not going to suggest from one genre only, but I am going to be suggesting romance, thriller, self-help, poetry, mythology. So let's not waste time and get into this video. The first book I'm going to suggest you is the book of Sudha. I've become a fan of this author because the way she writes is very simple, and I can connect to to her writing, I would say, because she writes about small town. And the book I read of hers was House of Cards, which I quite enjoyed. And the current book which I have in a physical form is 3000 Stitches. It is a story, I think it is a small story. Yeah, it's a story collection. And I have read only one and two stories so far. So in this she speaks about encountering about her engineering life. She being the only girl in her engineering batch. So that was one interesting story I liked and very inspiring, I would say. And if you are someone who wants to start reading, I think you must give it a try. The next book I want to suggest you is from the mythological fiction, and the book I have is Naga Warriors. I have not read the Hidden Hindu trilogy. This is the first book I picked up from this author, Gupta. And I quite enjoyed reading this because the way he has mentioned the lives of Naga sadhus, their origin, the way they live, and the way they, smear their body with ashes, and what differentiates them from Aghoris, and why they were involved in the Battle of Gokul, and why they were against the Akan. So he has quite mentioned the story well in this, and I liked while I was reading this, actually, while I was reading this, there was this kind of a ways I was feeling, the way they fight, the way the strategies they build. I could easily connect with the author. So I think this is one of the book you can read if you want to. Yeah, go for this one. The next mythological book I would recommend you is the Mahagatha. I mean, this is a fat book, I know, I understand, but it's not like you have to finish it in one go, but there are chapters in this, and there are quite beautiful pictures, I would say. I'll show you a picture, wait. Here, it's not like complete book with that, but there are different pictures in it, which is quite interesting. And the author Satyarth Nayak has taken the stories from different Puranas, the 100 things of Puranas. He has taken different stories from the Puranas and has, beyond it, I would say. And he has come up with this book, which is very, very great. So if you are someone who is interested in mythology, I think you should read this. And I mainly purchased this book because of its cover. I mean, I was in awe with this cover. I love the cover. Oh yeah, so that's fine. So you can read this one. The next book I want to suggest you is from the poetry section. So I have I Don't Love You Anymore by Rithvik Singh, and also the same book from him, Thank You for Living by Rithvik Singh. Okay, I bought this book first, actually, and then I was eager to buy this one. I loved the way he has written, in a simple way, and his writing has, it says million things in a short time. So that is what I love about him. So if you are someone who is interested in poetry and don't know where to start, so you can opt for these two books. For the next book I want to recommend you is How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is a non-fiction self-help book, actually. And if you are someone who wants to connect with people and don't know where to begin, I think this particular book will help you. And also, if you are someone who's very shy and introvert kind of a person, and wants to connect millions of people and influence them, I guess there are some tips which can help you better do that, yeah. So, the next I want to talk about is As a Man Thinketh. I think this is the thinnest book in the world, and I don't know, I'm not saying anything book being this one. So, As a Man Thinketh by James Talon is one of the book which has 7 chapters. If you are a thinker and if you want to read something about it, I think you can go for this one. There are topics which cover about effects of thinking or thoughts on your health, body, and various circumstances. So this book can help you in that. Yeah. The next book I want to suggest to you is Red Flags and Rishtas. This particular book is a debut novel of Radhika Agarwal, and she has taken 10 years to complete this book. So this is a DC romance book. Okay, the story is about Ananya, who is a serial dater who has gone on more than 153 dates and more, and a story of Adar, who is a serial suitor who has gone on various proposals and who wants to get arranged marriage, and these two people fall in love, and this is sort of like a enemy to lovers story but with a DC twist, and they are both in search of love, okay, and they place a bet actually where they have to find their partner. Writing is quite very as compared to the other debut authors, I would say. I know they both are in search of love in this book, and finally they meet, and yes, there is a DC twist in it. So you'll have to read that if you want to know that. If you are someone who's interested in thriller books, okay, and don't know where to begin, I think Neverna is the option you can go for. If you are the first time thriller reader, then go for Neverna. It will not disappoint you, I swear. This particular author, Freida McFadden, has ways to amaze you in different, and we'll be like so thrilled after reading it. The story revolves around a newlywed couple who have been to a dead psychiatrist mansion. Okay, these two couple, Ethan and Trisha, they go in search of a mansion which belongs to a dead psychiatrist. Nobody knows whether she's dead or she's alive, but the only thing they know is that she has disappeared. Okay, and nobody knows where is she. So these two people, the couple, they enter this house on a stormy night, and they are stuck in that house, for one or 2 days, and the story is all about that. Okay, for Trisha, the house feels very haunted. Okay, and Ethan is like, okay, this is so. I'll tell you an instant from this particular book. Ethan and Trisha, they both enter this mansion, okay, of a dead or a lost psychiatrist, and Trisha picks up a book from a library which is close to her living room, okay, and she feels that someone is watching her, okay, someone is keeping an eye on her, but as she turns, she sees this huge painting in the big psychiatrist, I will say, and the green eyes blocking her, and she's so terrified, she's so scared. So this is my way of explanation, but the author has put it so well. And there is one more instant where Trisha and Ethan, okay, Trisha is scared of that painting, so Ethan puts down the painting, he takes the painting and he places it somewhere dying, and there's no painting on the wall. But Trisha wakes up in the middle of the night and she has to go to the kitchen to buy or to get something. So that time she sees this painting which was put down first is hanging on the wall, and the green eyes are staring at her. She's so scared. The house is haunted. So that is about Neverland, so you can give it a try. The next book I want to suggest you is Junction October Junction by Divya Prakash Dubey. It is a Hindi book. If you are a Hindi reader, अगर आपको हिंदी में पढ़ना बहुत पसंद है, you can offer up October Junction. It is a story of Sudeep and Chitra. Chitra being a famous writer, and Sudeep is a CEO and a founder of Make My Trip app, and they meet in Banaras in October on a particular date, and they decide to meet every year on that particular date to different places. So it's not like it's a love story. It's not actually, but it's kind of a connection they have and they go in beautiful sort of emotions. So the author has very simply described in this book, so you can give it a try. I think that's all for now, and we're not going to drag it any longer. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day, enjoy your life, don't worry about anything, and start reading. So bye bye.